Right now on Fast Track News, the Purdue Me Too movement continues to push for change on campus. Updates on their efforts coming up. Also, support for Ukraine, where their students rally against the Russian invasion. And you'll hear from Boilermakers with ties to the conflict, including a professor whose hometown in Ukraine has come under fire. Plus, the addicting mobile game Wordle has become an internet sensation. How are Purdue students faring on this challenging game? Fast Track News starts right now. Good afternoon, Boilers. It's Friday, March 4th. I'm Maddie Kamatz. Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Fast Track News. March is Women's History Month, and the Purdue Me Too movement is still working hard to promote change in campus and Greek life culture. Reporter Sean English spoke with leaders of the movement and the Greek life members. Sean, what did you learn?
The Me Too movement is a worldwide movement aiming to help victims of sexual misconduct. We sat down with one of Purdue's representatives, as well as a member of a fraternity and a sorority, to see if Purdue can ever get to a place where no sexual assault victim ever has to say, "Me Too." We talked with Purdue sophomore Grace Gouchner and a member of Purdue Me Too's executive board and asked, are there a lack of cases here on Purdue's campus, or are you aware of a lot of reports, both registered and public?
There isn't a lack of cases in general, and we know that because when we put forth our Google form for survivors to anonymously put in their stories, they were going way back. I mean, we had alumni, and we have hundreds and hundreds of students who are still here, students who left campus because of it, students who had it pushed under the rug and were offered parking passes because of what happened to them by Purdue administration.
We went to Zeta Tau Alpha and asked Violet Keekbush if there should be more female administrators when it comes to a campus-wide change on the topic of sexual assault.
Definitely, just because, men obviously don't know the experience that women go through as sexual, assault survivors.
Lastly, we spoke to the Brothers Under Christ at Beta Upsilon Chi and asked how the Me Too movement has made change here on Purdue's campus so far.
Sometimes if you're not paying attention, you might not know what's going on, and that way, if everyone knows what's going on, at least people can be on the lookout for, fellow students and people that are maybe at risk.
Me Too Purdue is not just for Greek life anymore, it's for anyone and everyone. And our goal is to end power-based personal violence. And in addition, we want to reframe policies to support survivors and make them known of their options.
This has been Sean English reporting for Fast Track News.
Thank you, Sean. Fast Track will continue to follow any updates with the Purdue Me Too movement. Purdue supports Ukraine. A march this week on campus brought students together to protest Russia's invasion. And the Ukraine Student Association held an emergency meeting at Rawls Hall. We've got team coverage of how the war in Ukraine is impacting Boilermakers. We begin with Marcus Truccio, who was at Wednesday's rally.
Even though the conflict in Ukraine is occurring across the globe, the effects are still being felt by a lot of Purdue community members. Many have family members that still live in Ukraine whose lives have been disrupted. Other people have no blood ties to Ukraine but know someone who does. Many other people have no ties to Ukraine at all but still want to show support.
There's so much going on, it's just unfair for everyone there, and honestly there's many people affected in the US by it as well, like family relatives of people in the Ukraine living here. So my friend Roman, he is one of those people, so that's why I want to come here and support him, and I know he's doing a speech tonight too, so I really want to listen to what he has to say about it too.
There is only so much you can do from US soil, but recognition and spreading awareness can help lead to aid for Ukraine.
It's just important for everyone else to come too in order to just spread awareness, because now they can be more educated on the subject and then they can tell their friends, and then maybe that will create more of a difference, and that might even be an incentive for people to donate to Ukraine or just support him in other ways as well.
The crowd in attendance was a diverse group and even included University President Mitch Daniels. Before the march, Purdue Ukrainian Student Association President Senia Levitsky listed 3 action items that everyone can do to show support.
1. Voice your support by contacting local officials. Urge them to donate supplies to Ukraine. We need humanitarian aid now. 2. Stay informed about the issue. Understand that Ukraine is a distinct nation with its own language and culture. Ukraine is not Russia and does not want to be part of Russia. Ukraine is an independent country, and that's why we're fighting so hard right now. 3, donate supplies and funds.
Follow at Purdue Ukrainians for updates on events and details on how to donate supplies and funds. This has been Marcus Trusha reporting for Fast Track News.
The events of the past week and a half are tough on Purdue students with ties to Ukraine. Reporter Abby Myers spoke with members of the Ukraine Student Association and a professor whose hometown was bombed by Russia.
Slava Ukraini! Heroям slava!
Translated from Ukrainian, that means glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes, a popular sentiment from Ukrainian supporters around the world and here on campus. For many Purdue students, the Russian invasion and attacks on Ukraine hits close to home. For Danilo Shkrupy, who grew up in Ukraine, the recent attacks have made it harder to focus on schoolwork.
I'm always, like during class, like during homework, I have a hard time focusing because I have to check social media, I have to check what's the latest updates, I'm very invested into checking what the latest news from the front line are.
Mathematics professor Sasha Cymbaluk is from Kharkiv, an eastern Ukrainian city that has been at the forefront of the bombing.
I'm horrified with what's going on in my native country. My parents and grandparents, they got up in the night because there were lights outside of the entire city, and the bombing didn't stop until the night.
During President Biden's State of the Union address earlier this week, he laid out plans to increase sanctions on Russia. But Ukrainian students at Purdue worry that history might be repeating itself.
I guess a big fear is that there will be a lot of sanctions now on those new territories that Russia declared as independent, but in a few months things will die down and Russia will still have control of those territories.
The Ukrainian Student Association was restarted last fall and has around 20 members who are either from Ukraine, have Ukrainian heritage, or are just interested in learning about the country. The organization was originally formed with the hopes of getting U.S. Representative Victoria Spartz, who is from Ukraine, to speak at Purdue, but now they hope to encourage support for Ukraine and Ukrainian charities on campus. Association Secretary Diana Hrushka believes that everyone should be doing their part to help save lives.
Also, it's just people getting hurt every day that shouldn't be going on, and, just human decency, all that really matters.
Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Abby Myers.
Thanks, Abby. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb issued an executive order this week, laying out the steps the state will take to avoid business with Russia, to prevent cyber attacks in Indiana, as well as a declaration in support of the Ukrainian people. Our weather roller coaster continues, but this weekend it appears spring may get the upper hand. Meteorologist Stephen Abshire is here to tell us whether we can ditch the winter coats yet. Stephen?
Well, Maddie, it's certainly going to feel like we can ditch them today. I wouldn't say put them away just yet, but for the next few days, it's going to feel nice. As we take a look at what's going on outside the Union, finally some green grass starting to peek through. That's going to be the case as we move later on into this weekend. Nice, warm temperatures. As we take a look at what we're going to expect for the rest of today, high at 51 degrees with mostly sunny skies moving into the overnight hours, but we are going to see some more cloud coverage later on into this evening. Winds are going to be coming out of the southeast at 6 to 9 miles per hour, and sunset is going to be right around 6:42 p.m. tonight. I'll have more of what to expect this weekend coming up next.
The final round of the second annual Indiana Crossroads Classics Analytics Challenge was held last weekend at Ross-Ade Stadium Pavilion. This year, the winning team was awarded up to $5,000. It's an opportunity for students to apply the knowledge they learned in school to the real world. Reporter Vinny Guan gives us more insight into this competition.
Phishing is the most popular form of social engineering and can be leveraged to put malware or ransomware into a company's environments. Indiana Crossroads Classic Analytics Challenge raised a competition based on this issue. The contestants came from 4 different schools. They were Butler University, Indiana University, Purdue University, and University of Notre Dame. They need to clearly use Rango data with internal data to detect if an email is a threat or not, identify the profiles of phishing emails, anticipated the key insight from the future phishing emails, and sell their solution and knowledge from the point of view of a new cybersecurity consulting firm in the presentation. I'm here at the Ross-Ade Stadium Pavilion where the finals will be held, and there's only one top team represented for each division, undergrad and graduate per school. Here are the insight and ideas of those teams who make it to the final toward this competition.
Our main function is to detect phishing emails for our customers. And why is this important? because phishing emails are, their goal is try to steal data from the company, and it might cause data breach and as well as important information leakage, and it will also reduce the productivity of the employees by having them look through their email, try to find the actual work email.
Yeah, this was a really good curve as an analytics point of view, and also how to make a pitch, how to sell a product in front of business leaders from MISO and ECS.
Phishing emails in particular is such a prime topic amongst all kinds of different industries, and it really is a major factor that companies are having to be aware of in the marketplace. And we address this problem by doing a lot of external secondary research, but then also through a lot of trial and error to determine the best model for us to use to help companies identify these phishing attacks, not after they happen, but well before they happen.
Congratulations to Christine Zhou and Alana Shen, who won the first place in the undergraduate division, and Padma Dudwedi, Zina Aljarodi, Armi Senchi, Akshay Jayan, Achintya Archaya for winning both first place in the graduate division of the Crossroad Classic Analytics Challenge, as well as the overall champion belt. There was only 1.8% of the phishing email was misclassified by their model. Assuming 10,000 employees organization was given and 1,500 per employee cost of information, there was one form of click could put $15 million information worth at risk. However, with the high accuracy of their predicting models, it resulted in $14.4 million for effort. They also provide an interactive demo for the app in this competition, which was very impressive by the judges. I'm Vinny Guan, reporting from Fast Track News.
Thanks, Vinny, and congratulations to the winners. Coming up after the break, do you Wordle? We're on campus finding out who's playing and how they're doing. Plus, we created our own Purdue-themed Wordle game. Are you ready for the challenge? And another campus-wide email is sitting in your inbox from Protect Purdue. This week's COVID-19 update, straight ahead. You're watching Fast Track News.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Protect Purdue issued another update via email this week. In the message, the implementation team says it anticipates relaxing mask requirements even further, although no date yet when that could happen. Right now, most areas of campus are mask optional. Masks continue to be required in classrooms and labs and in healthcare settings. The COVID-19 positivity rate is around 2.5% this week. The email also asked campus for feedback on further relaxing masks. The deadline was Wednesday. We'll keep you posted on any new updates. You have to be living under a rock by now if you haven't heard of Wordle. It's a daily game where you have 6 tries to guess a random 5-letter word. Stephen Abshire went on a hunt to find out if Boilermakers are doing well with the challenge.
Wordle has become a cultural phenomenon taking over the phones of people around the world. The simple word game can be quite addicting, and for some students here at Purdue, it's become a part of their daily routine. Wordle is owned by the New York Times, and every day a new 5-letter word is issued. Users have 6 tries to guess the word correctly, and students have become hooked quickly.
I started playing Wordle because my friends told me about it, and I didn't know what it was, and then now I'm in like 4 different Wordle group chats. So I play Wordle every day now.
I started playing a couple of weeks ago. My friend introduced it to me, just like I had no idea what it was. I was like, oh, it's kind of like Scrabble or something. Maybe I figured I'll take a look. Then I got addicted to it.
Although the thrill of guessing the word correctly is fun, there's another reason for why Wordle is so popular.
We have like a Discord. We share like the attempts we took to get the Wordle. We try to compare it, see if we beat each other in it. Like my friend can get it in 3, I can get it in 4. See who's better, those type of things we kind of do.
I like talking to my friends about it because, you do it in your own time and then you get to chat and talk with your friends about like what it took you to get where you got.
Honestly, I like seeing like how my other friends do it because I'm in a group chat where we send like how we got to the word each time. I think it's kind of interesting to see like how everyone gets like a different path.
If you'd like to play a Purdue Wordle featuring words, names, and places associated with Purdue, scan this QR code and also check us out at Purdue Fast Track News on Instagram.
Oh, forgive me, just posting my Wordle score on social media. Don't forget to check out Fast Track News on your channels to see if you can beat our own Purdue-themed Wordle.
Although we've had some really nice weather this past week, we are going to see that come to an end as we have some precipitation beginning to move into the area on Sunday, giving a chance for some thunderstorms. As we can see, it's pushing up from the southwest, moving through central Indiana with some scattered showers, and we'll continue to track these systems as they move through the area. But for tomorrow, it is going to be very nice. High of 72 and a low of 55. We're going to be around 20 to 30 degrees above average for most of the state. So incredibly nice. The one caveat is we're going to have some wind gusts reaching up to 30 miles per hour at times, so it's going to be incredibly gusty. As we move into Sunday, again, mostly sunny with a slight chance for some thunderstorms, but the main rain is going to move in overnight and into Monday morning, as we're going to have a high, again, above average with a high of 63 and a low of 39. As we take a look at what's going to be happening at the rest of our forecast, rain is going to be coming next week, mainly earlier in the week, but we're going to have a return to the average temperatures. And, don't rule out those snow chances just yet. We do have a chance for some accumulation early next week. As we take a look at what we're going to be expecting for the rest of today, noon today, 44 degrees with mostly sunny skies. As we move later on into this afternoon, those temperatures are going to creep up by 3, 49 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and that cloud coverage is going to continue to increase as we move later on into the evening and into the overnight. By 6 o'clock, mostly cloudy, 46 degrees. As we move into the overnight hours, and for some of you who are going to be camping out for the IU game, luckily it's going to stay dry and relatively warm for this time of the year. By 9 o'clock, mostly cloudy with 41 degrees as the temperature, and by midnight tonight it's going to be mostly cloudy with temperatures right around 42 degrees. As we take a look at the national forecast for today, we can see that high pressure system that dominated most of this week, giving us some above average temperatures and dry conditions, has moved off to the east coast, and that's going to bring some instability as we move later on into this weekend. We can see this low pressure system is off to our west. This will be tracking to the east and going a little bit north of us, bringing us a chance for those storms on Sunday, but we're going to have another system move through on Monday, which is going to be giving us the most impact for next week. As we take a look for what we're going to be expecting for our game forecast at Mackey against IU tomorrow, tip-off will be at 2, so as we get into the morning on your way to Mackey, mostly sunny skies and already 62 degrees by 11 a.m. It's going to be incredibly warm. By 2 o'clock for a tip-off, mostly sunny as well, 71 degrees, and by the time we're walking home with a dub, it's going to be 68 degrees with partly sunny skies. Saturday is going to be edging up to historically high temperatures across the state. Forecasted high temperature for tomorrow is going to be 72 degrees, and that's 27 degrees above the average high, which is right around 45 this time of the year. A record high for this day was set back in 1983, with 77 degrees as a high on that day. I don't think we'll reach quite that warm, but some areas of Indiana do have a chance, and this will be our warmest day in nearly 5 months. October 10th was the last time that we hit 70 degrees. As we take a look at the surface temperatures moving in through this weekend into early next week, we can see a big shift. Warm temperatures in the 60s and upper 50s for the most part for today and into Saturday and Sunday, but come Monday and Tuesday, those blue cold temperatures right around freezing are going to return.
I'm Jack Saria, and sports is next on Fast Track News. A look ahead to the IU game. Remember this video? The watch party in Mackey from back in January when we lost a heartbreaker to the Hoosiers? Well, now it's time for revenge. Our pride is on the line. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Men's and women's basketball did not have too great of a week, but for some of our other Boilermaker programs, the story was a bit different. Purdue Swimming and Diving hosted the Big Ten Championships last Thursday at Burke Aquatic Center, and while the team did not take home a trophy, there were plenty of highlights. Jordan Rezepka scored an impressive 100-point dive, earning him a silver medal. Adding to that, the Boilermaker swim team broke a program record. The 400 relay team earned a bronze medal and set a Purdue swimming record with a time of 250.09. Moving on to baseball, as they have recorded the best start to their season in 113 years. The Boilermakers are off to a scorching hot 9-0 start. Following the sweep of South Dakota State, Purdue took care of business, sweeping the Princeton Tigers, and following that up with yet another win on Wednesday against Charlotte. The baseball team looks to continue their hot streak against Longwood starting today. And now to the big story of the week. IU is coming to town to face off against the Boilermakers in what you can say is an extremely anticipated matchup. Will Boilermaker fans be as optimistic as they were last time?
And what if we don't win today?
We'll get them next time. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
A little bit nervous, but I don't really have anything to be nervous about because we're obviously going to win by like 20 points.
Yeah, that lasted a while. In case you haven't heard, Purdue lost that game. The then fourth-ranked Boilermakers fell to the unranked Hoosiers by a final score of 68-65. Just one of several one-possession losses by this Purdue team. Nevertheless, Saturday is a new day, and students across campus are still optimistic about their boys being back in Mackey for this rivalry matchup.
If we lose, probably be pretty upset, maybe stay in my apartment. Everybody's going to be a little sad, mourn the loss.
If we win, I'm going straight to Harry's.
Okay, and if we lose?
Going straight to Harry's.
Okay.
As if the stakes weren't high enough, the Hoosiers need a victory this Saturday if they even want to compete in the March Madness tournament. Tune in to ESPN this Saturday at 2 p.m. to catch all the action. And finally, the Purdue women's basketball season has unfortunately come to a close. The Boilers lost yesterday to Michigan State in the Big Ten tourney. Final score 73-69. Good luck next year, ladies. Back to you, Maddie.
Thanks, Jack. Fingers crossed for a big win over IU tomorrow. Coming up, the Air Force Research Laboratory has chosen Purdue to lead a new regional research hub. And the owner of Harry's Chocolate Shop has passed away. A look at the impact he's had on this popular campus hangout.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
The U.S. Air Force picked Purdue University as the lead academic partner and headquarters for a regional research hub. It's for a new pilot initiative that involves the development of a science and technology ecosystem across 15 Midwestern states. President Daniels calls Purdue's selection a tribute to our faculty and researchers. According to a news release, the initiative will focus on furthering research and development of national security. Herschel Cook, the owner of Harry's Chocolate Shop, passed away last weekend. Reporter Bellavina has a look at his legacy.
Lovers of Harry's Chocolate Shop are raising a Michelob Ultra in honor of Herschel Cook, the most recent owner of Harry's, who passed away on Sunday, February 27th at the age of 75. Cook had been the owner of Harry's since 1977 and, with the help of his wife Mary, transformed the location from a little one-room bar to the institution it is today. Regulars, staff, and former staff filled the front window of Harry's on Monday afternoon to honor Cook. The man was an icon, said current manager Lane Hastings, with many reflecting her sentiments on social media.
As we move into Sunday night and into Monday, another system's going to begin to move through. And this one's not just rain. We do have a chance for about an inch of snow accumulating on the backside of it. As we can see, similar path to all these storms that we've seen recently, coming from the southwest, moving north, and bringing a lot of rain and some snow. In terms of expected rainfall, we're going to expect upwards to an inch and a half in the northern half of central Indiana, much more down south near Bloomington, almost 3 inches. So we'll continue to track that, how much rain and potential flooding we'll have as we move into next week. But if you take a look at the 7-day forecast, Monday, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, and we can see those temperatures are going to dip quite a bit for the rest of this week compared to what we've seen this week and we're going to see this weekend. By Tuesday, mostly sunny, and it's going to stay dry, high of 43 and a low of 28. Moving into the rest of the 7-day forecast, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see a slight warm-up. Sunny and pleasant on Wednesday, high of 46 and a low in the mid-30s. And on Thursday, we're going to get a little bit warmer, up into the 50s again, but a low around 38 and some mostly cloudy skies.
Hi, I'm Erin Isaacs, Director of Social Media for Fast Track News. Follow us for more updates on how campus is supporting Ukraine, your daily Purdue-themed Wordle, and Protect Purdue. Plus, we'll be at the men's basketball game Saturday against that team from Bloomington. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Fast Track News.
That's it for this week's edition of Fast Track News. I'm Maddie Kamatz. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week to keep you updated on campus news, weather, and sports.